What's up, y'all? Welcome to the NBA Weekly Post Game. This is where we share our views on the latest trending topics within the NBA. My name is Sha.
And I'm Evay, and we have a lot to talk about. We're going to share with you guys our player of the week. We're going to discuss, is there any hope for the Washington Wizards? We're going to talk about, have the Lakers reached rock bottom? And we're going to discuss our favorite tweet of the week. Let's get started.
So my player of the week is Cam Johnson from the Phoenix Suns.
I mean, who doesn't have Cam Johnson on their list for player of the week? Like, I have him too.
Okay, I'm saying, with Chris Paul and Devin Booker out, Cam Johnson took matters into his own hands. He did not get razzle-dazzled by Julius Randle trying to manhandle him in the paint. He did not back down. Cam dropped 38 points, including a buzzer beater, to top off a 14-point comeback win against the New York Knicks. Cam Johnson is my player of the week.
21 of those points were in the fourth quarter. Please, let's highlight that. For me, Cam Johnson's final shot was poetic justice. Like, if you want to know what poetic justice is, how you think you're going to bully somebody and then they come back and they're going to show you, regardless of the physical attributes, this skill level, while you're in the back, I'm going to win the game for my team because we were down, but now we're up, all the way up. Like, it was just sweet poetic justice. I was screaming. But you know what, though? That's in that game against the Knicks. But please don't forget about the game prior to that when they played the Trailblazers. And he had 20 points off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's shooting out amazingly from the three-point line. His field goal percentage is up there. Like, you can't ask for a better player on a roster, whether he is playing off the bench or being a part of the starting lineup. And as a matter of fact, off the bench, he's getting starting minutes. Like, they know his value on the Phoenix Suns. He proves his value every night he gets out there. And then to hit a buzzer beater, like, it was sweet. So yes, Cam Johnson, do you, boo? But yeah, player of the week for sure.
The Washington Wizards started out the season, smoking hot. We were singing their praises, and I thought the Washington Wizards would pretty much make a deep playoff run. Now, the season isn't over yet, but is there any hope for the Washington Wizards at this point?
The season is over for the Washington Wizards. That's a done deal. Yeah, they will. Their last game will be in April. I just don't have any hope for them, unfortunately, and I'm a bit disappointed because I could not believe that. It is disheartening to see them be 1 through 6 at the top of the season, to slide all the way down to number 11.
Yeah,
all the way down. And I was like, at what point did that happen for them? And I want to say it was around December. Now, granted, they've had injuries. Granted, they've had health and safety protocols. But again, every team has had that. So I'm saying that again, so people will know that I'm not discounting any of those challenges that the Wizards have faced. But those same challenges are on every team. So with that being said, I think that they just couldn't sustain a win. And here we are now, for me, saying Washington Wizards regroup for next season. And with all the changes they've made to their roster, it's almost like, are they gutting out their roster during the season? That's kind of how I feel about it. So yeah, it's just disheartening. I wanted more for them this season. They were showing us more at the beginning of the season, and now it's just like, well,
I know. It seemed like they had packed it in. Initially, I had high hopes for them and Coach Unsailed. I said, oh, this is fantastic. He's the perfect fit for the Wizards. I thought the nucleus of Bradley Beal, Kuzma, KCP, and Montrezl Harrell, I've been a big fan of Montrezl. When they traded Montrezl, I was like, okay, wait a minute. Davis Bertans, he's gone. Spencer Dinwiddie, he's gone. I don't like what they did at the midseason trade deadline. I don't like it at all. I don't like Kristaps Porzingis in Washington. I don't like it. I don't think he fits.
I don't get it. I don't get the changes and the moves that they've made midseason. I don't believe it was done to really make this season better. It was done to set them up for the changes they'll make in the offseason for next season. That's what I believe. This is just all ancillary. And then I read somewhere where Bradley Beal is considering re-signing with them, which I'm going to get your paper. Beal, get your paper. It's either the paper or the championship. So you might as well get your paper because you're not gonna get a championship. No, not with the
Mm.
Wizards. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah, yeah. I still don't feel like he will re-sign with the Wizards. They say he's up
No.
for over $200 million extension. I'm like, woo, Bradley, get your paper. But I still don't feel like he will be with the Wizards at all. I think the Wizards tried to make some moves at the midseason trade deadline to encourage him to sign, but those aren't the
Not
right
this.
moves.
Not this.
Exactly.
No, not at
Mm-mm,
all. Not
mm-mm.
unless there is something in the pipeline that we are not aware of that they are going to be shifting after the season is over, during off season. Maybe that's what we don't have visibility to, but there's no way that this particular roster can go into the next season as it is. It's just they have to make some more adjustments. And if
Yeah.
Bradley Beal is going to be the focal point, I'm okay with Bradley Beal and Kyle Kuzma being a 1-2 punch. I'm okay with that. They just need something else. And when they decided to trade Spencer Dinwiddie to the Mavs, I said, then what are we doing really? And
Mm-hmm.
when will the Washington Wizards find their stride, their identity, and be able to ride with that with a core for the next 2 seasons? Because you cannot continue to adjust rosters every season. When we're talking about main players every season, think you're going to have success. You know
Mm-hmm.
why? You better ask the Lakers. You better ask them because this is what happens, and then you start struggling. Give Bradley Beal his just due. Give him the pieces he needs in order for this Wizards team to be successful so they can at least have a deep playoff run one season while he's still at his prime. What are we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
It's disappointing. And then Montrezl Harrell, like, really?
I know. That was
Mm-mm.
just such a bad move. They should have kept Montrez. Crazy.
Another reason why I don't think there's any hope for the Wizards this season is because I think they're about 3 games behind the Hawks.
Yeah.
It's not going to get any better. We have what, maybe less than between 19 to 20 games as we speak that's remaining in the season. What damage do you think they're gonna do with this team?
No, they're not.
None,
They're
none.
not.
Stay active. Matter of fact, and this is so sad about it. This is when you know the season's over for a team. Anytime you're looking at another team, you're saying, "Oh, who's their matchup?" And you see the Washington Wizards, you're like, "Oh, that's a win." What? That's a win for the other team. You know the team, you know the season is over. And that's for me, that's where I am with the Wizards right now. So what I'm saying for the Wizards, get it together for next season. And hopefully next season, when you make your moves in the offseason, hopefully you'll be able to then maintain, get back into the top 1 through 6 spot in the East and stay there.
The Los Angeles Lakers are currently number 9 in the Western Conference. But I have to tell you, I'm not impressed. Have the Lakers hit rock bottom?
Yes. They have hit rock bottom, and please don't let one win change it. I mean, I don't know what the rest of the season looks like for them. Is there hope for them? Yeah, of course there's hope as long as they still have LeBron James. And if LeBron James is going to continue to play hero ball, then yeah, there is hope. I mean, if he can put up 56 points every night like he did against the Golden State Warriors, absolutely, absolutely. And if the teams that they're playing up against at this time of the season have breakdown in their defense, or they got some of their core players are out injured, yeah, the Lakers can still get it done. But if AD is not playing, when we're talking about a 7-game series, it's a wrap. It's a
Yes.
wrap. And the reason why it's a wrap, the Lakers cannot do, unfortunately, what other teams can do. Anytime the Lakers are not in the playoffs, in a solid spot in the playoffs, it's rock bottom for that franchise. That's just what it is. They're a storied franchise. They got all the national TV spots. Everybody always talking about them. So anything they don't do, anytime they're not 1 through 6, I would even give them 1 through 6 in the standings at this point. Since we've now included a play-in tournament, it's rock bottom for them. It's rock bottom. And actually, if you watch the games prior to the one with Golden State, what are we watching? So yeah, no, rock bottom, absolutely.
Yeah, they're definitely at rock bottom. But the only way they can go is up at this point. But unfortunately, it will be without Frank Vogel and my Brody, Russell Westbrook, next season.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
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 There's no way they can come back with this lineup next season at LeBron. What, LeBron's 20th? Will it be his 20th season? The Lakers have to be in a win now mode for next season. They are at rock bottom. I think we all need to just go ahead and accept the fact that the Lakers will not make the play-in tournament. In fact, I don't think that they should make the play-in because all that's going to do is add extra mileage on LeBron James, and they're not coming out. They're not, even if they do come out, they're not going to go deep into the playoffs. So in Los Angeles, it's either championship or bust. And at this point, we are at the bust period. So like, why even waste it? Why even waste it when you have your star player, LeBron James, saying that the Los Angeles Clippers are a better team than them? Don't
Yeah.
even waste the mileage on LeBron James.
The thing about it is, though, is that it's about LeBron James and the Lakers combined, and LeBron James and the Lakers separate. There's two things that's going on in LA right now. The Lakers' success, yes, is will be greatly heightened if LeBron James is on the roster. We know that. Got it?
Mhm.
I'm solid with that. But LeBron James has his own journey that he's also trying to accomplish. And that can, and although we say, you hear often, oh, maybe he should rest and sit him down, the mileage, he is 37. Oh my goodness, he's in his 19th season. He is 37. Like if I see that on the screen, if I hear it said one more time, I get it, y'all. People, anybody watching NBA basketball right now know that LeBron James is in his 19th year and they know that he's 37 years old. We get it. But LeBron James has his own solo journey and goals that he's trying to accomplish that doesn't have anything to do with the Lakers. He just happened to be on the Lakers. So no, he's not going to sit down. Yes, he's going to continue to put the mileage on because he wants to make sure that number one, he continues to secure his legacy, which I think is already secured, and that he is able to achieve his next goal of beating Kareem. Let's not forget that, y'all. And it's if that's what it is, for me, in order for me to accept where the Lakers are right now, I have to compartmentalize what the Lakers are doing right now. And so if LeBron James continues to play, it is not for the win of the Lakers. Yes, I hear it, but I'm telling you right now, if it was really about the Lakers, you would be sitting your tail down and you would be playing over 25 minutes. You just wouldn't do it when y'all losing.
Mhm.
So again, and when you're putting up 56 points and you got how many assists? Is it really getting my team to be better? Or is it really about me? But hey, they won the game. So, here it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, it's definitely about LeBron. I totally agree with you. His main mission is to catch Kareem. But
Mhm.
I think throughout this season, though, the only silver lining for the Los Angeles Lakers has been Austin Reeves and Malik Monk. We now know that those two young players can play basketball. Like they're really good in terms of hustle, athleticism. The Lakers can hang their hat on Austin Reeves and Malik at this point. THT, that's another that's another conversation. I don't know what happened to Taylor Horton Tucker. He signed his not max extension. He signed his contract extension, and then he went ghost. I don't know what's up with THT. So
You know what
yeah, they're
is
at rock
funny?
bottom right now.
It's funny because Malik Monk, fire first half of the season. I mean, really, with or without LeBron James, you did have Malik Monk. And now we have Austin Reeves, carrying the torch at this point. It's Are those trade pieces
Uh,
that the Lakers could utilize? Because this is how the Lakers operate, right? Who, what is Palinka on the chopping block?
he should be. Jenny Buss should be like, hey Rob, I don't really like how you constructed this team. With or without pressure from LeBron and Anthony Davis, it's still Rob Pelinka's job to formulate a team that can win a championship. And he failed miserably this season.
And it is showing up now. We're talking about the moves that they've made prior to last season is now showing up to the demise of this season with the Lakers, right? So you got these veterans on there, but the young guns are the ones that's keeping it afloat. The young
Yeah.
guns, yeah, because guess what? Basketball is a young man sport, and if LeBron James can still do it, oh my gosh, huge applause. I'm just no discrediting anything that LeBron is doing, but as we all know, you cannot win a championship by yourself.
Mm-mm.
So if you think he's about to put up 56 points in every game for the next series of playoffs, it ain't gonna happen. And
No,
why would
it's
you
not.
want to put that pressure on him, Lakers organization? Who is gonna take the blame for this season? Well,
Russell Westbrook's going to take the blame.
really? At
Yeah,
this
speaking
point, can we really still say it's Russell Westbrook?
no, not at all. Speaking of Russ, I mean, there's reports that he and Frank Vogel had a little heated debate during film session regarding Russell Westbrook coming off the bench. See, here's the problem with that. First of all, it should have never made it to the media.
How do we know about it?
Yeah. Second of all, who's the coach? Who's the coach? If Frank Vogel has control of his lineup, there should be no debate. And I love Russ. I'm one of his biggest fans. But if Russ can if the Los Angeles Lakers can start winning games with Russ coming off the bench, there should be no debate.
He's not convinced. He's not convinced, and there's no trust. So for me, it's almost as though, did they sell Russell Westbrook a bag of cotton candy? Like all air. Like what is sweet, but when you put it in your mouth, it dissolves quickly. It was just, it's not right. And I don't think Westbrook is one that would not want to win. I
Oh,
would hope not. I don't know, but why put him on have him come off the bench now?
yeah, at this stage of the season.
Why?
Yeah, yeah, no. You got 18, 20 games left. Now you got this bright idea. Come on.
You know what? There's a leak in. How do we even know about their disagreement in a film session? In
See,
a
that's what
film session?
yeah,
Mm-mm.
I
No, we shouldn't
know.
even know about that. I'm quite sure there's always all types of disagreements in the film session. Are you serious? And we hear about that one? I don't trust. See, mm-mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Russ, run fast.
And Carmelo too. I feel bad for Carmelo. He came to Los
Mm.
Angeles to play with one of his best friends and LeBron James, hoping that they could win the championship. Poor Carmelo. It's not going to happen this season. I feel terrible for
Mm-mm.
him. I actually feel
Mm-mm.
bad for Russ too, because I want him to win a chip, but it will not be with the Los Angeles Lakers.
Period.
As
Okay.
you guys know, we are always scrolling through Twitter, and we found an interesting tweet from Celtics blog. And it says here that, yo, this season went from fire Ime to Ime fire. Let me just tell you, the Boston Celtics completely turned their season around. And I have to agree, because really, I was on the fire Ime bandwagon.
You
Don't
were.
even act like that. You were too. You were.
No, I initially I wavered. I initially supported him in all of his, wanting to be structured and how he, needed to change the culture of the locker room. I was on board for it until they started losing repeatedly, and I said, well, maybe. And then noise came from the camp, and Marcus Smart was suspended, all that, right? And I said, well, maybe he shouldn't. Is he the right fit? But I'm okay right now. I think he gets a pass to hold on for the rest of the season. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Fans are very temperamental, and it don't take much for us to boot you out of a situation. Yeah. Yeah. But right now, he's solid, and the Celtics, baby, they doing it. So yeah, no, he can stay. He can stay for the rest of the season. Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
He's earned his spot now. Yes.
Yeah, Boston Celtics now sit number 5 in the Eastern Conference, and they got this killer defense that, woo, I don't know what Ime has them doing in practice, but that defense shows up during the basketball games, and the discipline and the accountability. It's just like, wow. Now I kind of see what he was doing.
Yeah. Yeah. It took some time. It took some time, and we needed to give him some grace. In Brad, I trust. If you've been following us for some time, I am a big Brad Stevens fan.
Mhm.
And my bold prediction is that the Boston Celtics will end up in the 4th spot in the East by the end of the regular season. And I'm still holding firm to that because I can see it happening. So, yeah, I'm really excited for them. I think that Marcus Smart is really doing a great job at point guard. I really like when he brings the ball down. He's so gritty.
Oh,
Oh, man, he's
goodness.
so gritty. And his hustle is superb. So, yeah, and I'm really, really happy with the addition of Derek White. So they've made some moves in the midseason, bringing back Daniel Tice that I really believed helped shape and get them ready for what the postseason will be for them. And I think that Brad is the mastermind behind that. So yeah.
Yeah, you've always been a big fan of
I
Brad
like
Stevens.
Brad.
That's cool.
I
That's
do.
cool.
I like analytical thought. It may not always express itself in outward passion, but it doesn't mean that inward passion is not there in the moves, and how they communicate is still not passionate, although it's not big and boastful and big and proud. But yeah, Brad Stevens for me is really great. So his transition from coach to um, front office, easy transition. So yeah, I'm happy about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.